In response to COVID-19, PSP is offering telefitness to Canadian Armed Forces members. By using social media platforms, the telefitness classes tailored to Canadian Armed Forces personnel become accessible to all. Prior to participating in this session, and to make an informed decision on whether you should seek advice from a qualified exercise professional or healthcare provider, consult the Get Active Questionnaire of the Canadian Society of Exercise Physiology and its reference document by clicking on the links below. By continuing with this telefitness class, you understand that there is a possibility of physical injury and you agree that you do so voluntarily at your own risk. You also assume all risk of injury and agree to release the Canadian Forces Morale and Welfare Services from any and all claims related to your participation in this telefitness class.
Hi everyone, welcome to Power Hour. My name is Anita. I am a fitness and sports instructor here in Garrison, Petawawa. Today our class will be a power and strength class. So anytime we train for power and strength, we want to remember to do low reps with heavy weight and lots of rest time. So the rest time is there to make sure that our muscles are recovering properly before we perform those explosive movements and make sure that we're performing them efficiently. Okay, so talking about heavy weight, the equipment you're going to need for this class is a heavy kettlebell and a heavy dumbbell, as well as a foam roller. If you have a yoga mat, that's ideal too for the warm-up and the cool-down. We also have one exercise that you might want to use it for, but I'll leave you guys up to that. If you don't have these weights at home, that's okay. Just grab a backpack, fill it with some weights, books, anything you can really find around the house. Just get creative, honestly. And then grab your water. You want lots of that for today's session. And I will not be playing any music just so that you guys can actually hear me. So just go ahead, put whatever playlist you like on once we do start the workout if you need that extra little motivation. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and explain the workout to you guys a little bit before I do the explanation and demos of everything. So what it's gonna look like is it consists of 4 different stations. Each station has a pair of exercises or a group. The first 3 stations are pairs, so it'll be a strength movement followed by a power movement, as where the last group of exercises is 3, and that'll be basically just all explosive movements with 30 seconds in between each. Okay, we're aiming for 3 sets today of everything, as long as time is good, obviously. 5 reps and 2 minutes of rest in between sets. So that 2 minutes of rest in between sets, the first 20 to 30 seconds and the remaining 20 to 30 seconds, I'll encourage you guys to grab some water because we will be doing some mobility within that 1 minute, so right in the middle of the actual rest period. So just something to keep in mind. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and go with the exercise explanations and demos. To start off, you're going to start with a kettlebell Romanian deadlift, and then your power exercise is going to be a kettlebell swing. So your feet are going to start about hip width apart. Okay? For this kind of deadlift, a Romanian is almost like a straight leg deadlift. So it's not so much of a squat, it's more of a hinge, so we're pushing our hips back. So keeping the core engaged, hinging down, keeping a nice flat back, neutral neck. You're using your glutes and hamstrings to bring you back up. Okay. From there, you'll go straight into your explosive power movement, and that's going to be a kettlebell swing. So a lot of people think a kettlebell swing is for the upper body, but really it's a power movement for the glutes and the hamstrings, and the hips, sorry. So what you're gonna do, again, about hip width apart, maybe a little bit further, hinging, pushing the hips back. You're gonna grab your kettlebell, making sure your back is nice and straight, and then using the power from your glutes and hamstrings to bring you up. Okay. Then you will grab the kettlebell or the dumbbell, whatever you prefer, and you're going to do a kettlebell squat. So if you like to do a wider stance, that's fine, or closer together, doesn't matter. But for this one, you want to make sure that your knees are following your toes. So engage your core, chest is up. You're going to squat down to 90, and then pressing through the heels to come back up. Okay, then you'll do your squat thrusters. So those, you're going to start in high plank. So hands are under the shoulders. From here, you're going to bring your feet wide So into a wide squat, and then bringing your arms up. So you're still staying in that squat, you're not coming standing up. Then back down, like that, okay? Then you'll do your weighted glute bridge. So to show you that, grab your mat if you like. Okay, you're gonna lie down on your back. Gonna place the weight on your hips. So lying on your back, sliding your heels towards your bum. Holding the weight, you're gonna press through the heels, keeping that core engaged, so bring that belly button towards your spine. Pressing through the heels and squeezing the glutes and hamstrings at the top. And then lowering back down. Okay. Then you will go into a reverse lunge with a knee hop. So for that one, you have two options here. But anytime you need to drop the weight, feel free to do so. But you're going to step back. So obviously engage your core, chest is up. Stepping back into your reverse lunge, coming to 90 degrees, and then driving that knee up. So if you want, you can do the hop or just a knee drive. So knee drive looks like this, or a knee hop. So your choice, pick whatever you like. And then for the last 3 exercises, we're gonna do a chest press, this way. So grabbing your 30-pound dumbbell, you're going to lie down. Really sitting. Okay, so you're gonna lie down on your back, like so. I like to bend my knees and keep my feet on the floor, just that way there isn't an arc in my lower back. So feet planted, my bum is planted, lower back is in the ground so my core is engaged, and then my shoulder blades and my head are resting. From here, elbows are tucked in. This is where you're starting. And it's an explosive movement. So explode up fast and then lower slowly. Explode and lower. Explode and lower. Okay. Then you'll take your 30 seconds of rest and you'll move on to the row. So again, another explosive movement. So knee is resting on a bench. I have an ottoman that works for me, so whatever you have at home, even the couch works. Okay, and then your hand is resting underneath your shoulder. From here, make sure your back is nice and straight and a neutral neck, so you're not looking up, just looking down. From here, explode, lower. And explode, lower. Okay, and then the last one, after you take your 30 seconds of rest, is going to be a press. So overhead press. So feet are about hip width apart. Core is engaged. From here, elbows are tucked in. Same thing, explosive. So lower slowly and lower. We're gonna go ahead and get started with the warm-up. So standing where you are, keeping your chest nice and tall. You're gonna alternate doing high knees okay, into butt kicks. If you can't do the little jumping movements, just switching sides. Same thing with the butt kicks. Into butt kicks. Do that one more time. To butt kicks. Okay, next is going to be your hip rotations. So standing where you are, you're going to bring that right knee up, about hip height, and then rotate out. Okay, switching sides, keeping that core engaged. We're going to do 3 more per side. Okay, doing the same thing, except we're going to bring the knee out and rotate it in. So we'll do 5 again. Again, keeping that chest up, core is engaged. Really focusing on the rotation, warming those hips up. Okay, last one. Okay, next you're going to grab your mat, forward a bit. Okay, mainly for support for your knee here. So getting in a low lunge, we're gonna rotate the hips forward and then press forward, making sure that knee isn't going over the toes and feeling a nice stretch in the front of the hip. Then pushing back, keeping a slight bend in the knee, feeling it in the hamstrings and a little bit in the calf. Okay, coming forward and back. Okay, 3 more. That was my knee. And back. 2. Feeling that stretch, trying to get a little deeper every time. Back for the hamstring. Okay, and last one. And bring it back. Good. Okay, switching sides. So same thing, getting into that low lunge, rotating the hips forward, making sure your knee's not tracking over the toes, tilting, feeling that stretch in here. Okay, bringing it back. Slight bend in the knee, feeling a nice stretch in your hamstring. Forward. And back. Do 3 more. And back. Down to 2. Trying to get a little bit further each time. Feeling the mobility. And last one. And back. Perfect. Okay. Next one is going to be your T-spine rotation. So getting in a high plank. So hands are directly under your shoulders and the feet are driving into the mat. From here, bringing that right foot to the outside of the right hand and then opening up towards the knee. Making sure you're stacking the shoulders. Bringing it back. Other side. Opening up towards your knee. We're going to do 4 more per side. Okay, with this third set, you're going to take a second exhale and then rotate a little bit further. Same thing on this side. And 2 more. And last one for a side. Next, you're going to move this for our last little warm-up exercise. You're going to perform a squat. So pick whatever stance you'd like. So just a bodyweight squat. Coming up, walking your hands down, and performing a push-up. And walking yourself back up, back to a squat. Down to 90, press up. We'll do 1 more of those. And don't forget to squat like I just did. All right, guys, so we're gonna get ready to start our workout. So grab the music, put whatever you want on. I will be timing the 2 minutes, and let's do this together, okay? So grabbing your kettlebell, we're starting with the kettlebell Romanian deadlift for 5 reps, and then the kettlebell swing for 5 reps. So here we go. Chest up, straight legs, hinge back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, going straight into our swing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're gonna place that to the side. starting 2 minutes. So grab some water. Okay, we're gonna grab our foam roller. So we're going to do some work with our hamstrings, just so that we aren't tightening up. So I'll give you guys about 15 more seconds here. We're gonna start above the knee, not underneath, above the knee, on the hamstrings. We'll do both legs at the same time just because we are short for time. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead, do about 2 inches at a time, working your way up. Okay, encourage you guys, lean side to side, find some tight spots, work on those. Okay, working your way up to underneath the glutes, not on the glutes, just still the hamstrings. Good. Gonna lean to the side a bit. Okay, leaning to the other. Okay, about 15 more seconds. Just gonna straighten myself out here. All right, we got about 30 seconds now before we start our next set. So grab some water. In 5 seconds, guys. 3, 2, 1, let's go. And last one. Okay. Into our 5 kettlebell swings. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good, place that to the side. Okay, starting our 2 minutes again. It's your time to grab some water. Foam rolling is great to use and incorporate, whether you do it daily, once a week, whatever works for you. Just releases lactic acid, especially during this lovely workout. In about 5 seconds, we'll start rolling again. So starting, like I said, above the knees. Okay, here we go. So hopefully you found some tighter spots, so focus on that now. You will get more of a release if you do a single leg at a time, but like I said, because we're short for time, we're just gonna do both legs at the same time. And as well, if you use a lacrosse ball or a mobility ball, that will target way deeper. About 30 more seconds here. Okay, grab some more water before we start. Okay, about 15 more seconds. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, for our swings. 1, 2, 3, 4, last one, 5. Perfect, good job guys. Last little set here. Okay. is a good time too, within the next 2 minutes. I guess we have about a minute and a half, but when you have your rest too, just focus on your breathing. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Okay, let's get started with our rolling for the last time. If you're feeling like there's more tight spots on the outside, go that way. So lean your body towards that side. Okay, you've got about 20 more seconds. So aim for those spots. Roller. Got about 30 seconds before we do our last set. So just getting ready. Okay, 10 seconds. Okay, grabbing your kettlebell, get ready. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. 3 sets, guys. Okay, last one here. We're just gonna roll it out. Grab some water, control your breathing. Hopefully you're already sweating, so I am. Go. Okay, so before we start rolling here, our next set is going to be a kettlebell squat with a squat thruster. So just giving you guys that, just so you have an idea of what's coming next. Okay, so coming up, next minute, focusing on those tight spots, like I've said a million times. So I usually go and find a spot, and then I'll focus on that spot and just roll it for a length of like 2 to 3 inches, if that, and then I make my way up. Just gonna move that out of the way. We're gonna prepare ourselves for the next one here. So like I said, we're doing the kettlebell squat with the squat thrusters. So the squat thrusters, you don't need any weight obviously, but the kettlebell squat, you will be using the weight. I'm just gonna get that out of the way there. Okay. So feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. If you want even wider, that's fine, or more narrow. Just make sure your knees are tracking your toes. Okay, so we're starting in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Down to 90 and back up. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Put that to the side. Go with our thrusters. So starting in a high plank. Coming up. Oh, don't trip. Perfect. Okay. Oops. There we go. Okay guys, grab some more water. Next what we're gonna do is the quads. So like I said, we're pretty short for time. So we're going to do both legs at the same time. You guys from different angles so you can actually see. So starting above the knee, not on the knee like I've said, resting on your forearms. Just gonna start to roll 2 inches at a time. Like I said, leaning left to right, finding that spot that's more of a pinpoint for yourself, and then working your way up. Good time to control your breathing. If you have a towel you want to wipe your sweat off, feel free. About 20 more seconds here. All right, in 3, 2, and release. So guys, 30 seconds to grab some water, catch your breath. Okay, bring my kettlebell back over here. About 10 seconds. So preparing. Okay. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Get to our thrusters, starting in a high plank. All right. I'm going to show you guys another cool way to roll now. So, I don't know if you ever tried flexion and extension on a roller. It doesn't feel cool, but it feels really good after. So, if you get ready, so starting like we did, this is what I mean by flexion and extension. So you're gonna flex that leg, and then extend. Try it 3 times in one spot. Tell me how it feels. Okay, switch to the other side. You can maintain your balance and do that at the same time, feel free. Okay. I'm really finding those tight spots. Okay, leaning side to side. About 5 more seconds. And ease off. Okay, grabbing some water once again. Setting it for the next one. So we're getting into our last set here. And then we're going to move on to our weighted glute bridge and our reverse lunge to the knee hop. So in 5, 3, 2, 1, here we go. 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, let's get that out of the way. Straight into your squat thrusters. So in a high plank. Awesome job, guys. Breaking out a sweat. So for this last roll here for the quads, I'm going to encourage you guys to roll side to side. See if you're tighter in the inside or more on the lateral outside part of your leg. For me, I find I'm a lot tighter laterally. A lot of people say the exact same thing, but everybody's different. Working up 2 inches at a time. Make sure you're breathing through this. Don't hold your breath. All right, I'm going to shift to the other side. Starting more from the top now and working up. Or down, I guess I should say. All right. 3, 2, and 1. All right, guys. If you have that mat, this is the time to grab it. I'll put it to the side so you can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, this is where your dumbbell comes to place. So we're going to do 5 reps of the weighted glute bridge and then 5 reps of your reverse lunge to the knee hop. So you're going to place the dumbbell on your hips, lying back. Okay, sliding your heels to your bum. From here, engage your core, pressing through the heels. And 5. Perfect. Probably going to need to move your mat just so you don't trip over it, but that's up to you guys. Here we're doing 5 per side now. So either the drive or the hop. And last one. Awesome, good job guys. Starting at 2 minutes. Grab some water. Control your breathing. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. You're just trying to get that rhythm back in your breath, since our heart rates are very elevated. Okay, so we're going to start sitting on our bum on the foam roller. You're going to cross one leg over. From here, you're leaning towards that side. So we're targeting our glute right now. So just rolling, finding those spots that are tight or trigger points and focusing on those. We'll do about 30 seconds per side here. Ideally, it's 2 minutes, but with time, we're gonna do 30. Okay, switching to the other side. Leaning over. Same thing, finding those trigger spots. And 3, 2, and 1. All right, guys. We've got 30 seconds before we start the next set. So grab some water. Okay, I'm going to set myself back up with this lovely mat I have. Okay, grabbing my weight. Okay, lying back, bringing those heels towards my bum. Core is engaged, pressing through the heels. Squeeze the glutes at the top, and then come back down. Okay, going into our knee drive or knee hop. This time I'll show you guys how to do the drive. A little bit easier, stepping back, performing that knee drive. So nice and powerful on the way up. Last one. Okay, switching sides. And last one. Awesome, guys, good work. Starting our time. Let's give ourselves a little bit more time to roll our glutes. So sitting on your foam roller, okay, leading to whatever side you'd like to start with first, and then finding those trigger points and releasing them. Take this time to get your breath under control. Inhale slowly, and exhale. Right, get ready to switch here in 3, 2, and 1. So resetting, leaning towards that side that the knee is crossed. Probably be easier to wear the watch, but I don't know, something about watches doesn't work with me. Gets in the way. All right, maybe about 10 more seconds before we get into that last set. Okay, releasing that. If you're using your mat, grab it. Placing your hip or your weight on your hips. Getting set up just like we have the last 2 sets. So sliding those heels towards your bum. Engage the core and press. And last one here. Really squeeze those glutes. Good. Right. Get the set up weight for our thrusters. And begin in that high plank. We're not doing those. Just kidding. Right, reverse lunge to your knee drive or your hop. Last one. Good. Switching sides. And 5. Good job, guys. Grab your foam roller. And drink some water. And we're gonna immediately just get on there, get the most of it. Across that leg, lean to the side. Again, trying to get your breathing under control. Use your time efficiently when you're resting. Don't just sit down, do something. You have 15 more seconds on this side. So really focusing on that tight spot. All right. Transition your way over to the right glute. Crossing your leg and leaning over. How awesome is it that it's Friday? It's literally the weekend. Okay. Do about 20 more seconds here. Mobility balls are great for the glutes too, because I find it's a lot deeper, obviously, as a pinpoint, but it feels amazing. So something to give a try if you'd like. All right, and releasing. All right, going on to the very last group of exercises. So something I didn't mention, you're going to need something like this, whether it be a bench at home, or this, to me, I have an ottoman, so that works for me. A couple of chairs works, completely up to you guys, whatever you have. So you're gonna grab your weight. You can actually use, because we're gonna be doing a chest press, but we're gonna lie on the ground. So if you wanna grab your mat for some extra support, feel free to do that. Okay, so you're gonna lie down on your back. Okay, I like to bend my knees and keep my feet on the ground just because it keeps your lower back actually in the ground, your core engaged. So you want your feet, your bum, lower back, shoulder blades, and your head resting on the mat. Elbows are going to be tucked in, and here we go for 5. Explode up, lower down slowly. Last one. Awesome, good job guys. And I'm going to count, do this little 30-second count here, and then we'll get into the rows. So we're going to do 5 on each side. Do about 15 seconds, so set up. Your knee is going to be on the actual bench or ottoman, and your arm is right underneath your shoulder. From here, we're exploding up and lowering down slowly. Make sure your back is nice and straight. Okay, switching sides. Same thing, make sure your knees supported, hands underneath your shoulder, core is engaged. And 5. Okay, 30 more seconds. Have some water if you'd like. Next one is going to be your overhead press. So starting up, elbows are tucked in, starting at your chest. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Last one. All right. 2 minutes of rest, guys. For this one, grab some water quick. Move this out of our way a little bit. We're going to do some wall slides. Typically, you'd be standing for this. I don't know if you can tell, I only have a half wall, so I don't have the option for that. So, I'm going to start. Want your bum resting on the actual wall. So obviously it's on the ground, but get as close to the wall as you can. From here, shoulder blades are digging in there as well. So you want to elongate your spine, standing nice and tall, chest is up. From here, you're going to make basically a W with your arms. And then simply making sure we're not elevating the shoulders. So it's not going to be like that. Keeping the shoulders down, you're going to slide your arms up slowly, as far as you can, keeping the shoulder blades down and against the wall, and then bringing it back down. So really pressing the shoulder blades into the wall, making sure you're not elevating your shoulders as you're going up, and then returning. Good, good job guys. Okay, we got about 30 seconds here. If you want to grab another drink of water, okay, control your breathing again. Inhaling through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. So getting ready for our chest press again. For about 15 seconds. So let's get ready. Lie down, make sure all of our pinpoints are on the ground. Starting at the chest. Here we go. All right, 30 seconds. Bring my lovely little ottoman back. Okay, about 10 seconds. Just getting ready. And 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Switching to the other side. Engaging your core. Perfect. Okay. Get ready for your chest press. Just kidding, your shoulder press. All right, so picking up your weight, starting at the chest, core is nice and engaged. Here we go. And back. Okay. Okay, grab your water for the next 2 minutes and your wall so we can do some slides. I'm spilling my water everywhere today. Right. So again, you guys can try either this way. I prefer having my legs crossed. I find I get more of an engagement for my back. All right, and here we go. Keeping those shoulder blades in, not elevating the shoulders, reaching up as far as you can, and then coming back down. Nice and slow. Back down. Bring up one more time, nice and slow. And back down. We got about 30 more seconds left in our rest period, and then we're going to hop into our third and last set. You guys are doing incredible. Good job. All right. We're just going to get ready. So lying back. Right, in 5 seconds. Elbows are tucked in. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Last one. All right, 30 seconds. a little setup back in action here. All right, about 10 more seconds before we start our rows. In 5, 3, 2, 1, here we go. Perfect, switch sides. Core is engaged. Last one. Perfect. All right, 30 more seconds. Getting into our last one, guys. Almost there. You guys are doing great. All right, 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1, let's go. That's it, guys, good job. Okay, we're gonna jump straight into our cool down. Okay, only 2 sets of the wall size for today. So good time to grab your mat if you have one. Okay, we're gonna start with child's pose. So actually I'll do it from the side so you can actually see what I'm doing. But basically child's pose, you wanna bring your knees together, or sorry, knees apart and toes together. So, like so, and then push the hips back and extending those arms out in front of you. Feel a nice stretch in your back. We're gonna go ahead and hold that for about a minute. So arms are fully extended, driving those fingertips into the mat. Okay, again, controlling your breathing, so inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Trying to get deeper into the stretch with every exhale. About 30 more seconds. Okay, nice and slow. We're gonna walk our hands to the left. Change the mat around so you can see how it's gonna look from this angle. Okay, so stay in that same position. Just gonna walk our hands to the left. And you should feel a nice stretch in your lat right here. We're just gonna hold that for about 30 seconds here. All right, slowly getting ready to transition over to the other side. So walking your hands back to the middle and then over to the right side. And now you'll feel it right in your left lat there. Another 30-second hold. Slowly bring your hands back. And then coming out of that, we're gonna lie on our bellies or on your side. You can even stand up for this one. We're gonna just do a little quick stretch for the quads. So that nice big long muscle on the front of your leg there. So either like this, or if you'd like to lie on your side, that is also an option. I prefer to lie on my stomach. So try your best to grab your ankle. If you can, avoid grabbing the toes. And then you're just gonna bring your heel towards your bum. Typically when we're stretching, science has proven, research I guess you could say as well, has proven that you should hold a stretch for 2 minutes to get the best benefits from it. So even after this class, if you guys want to go ahead and do your own stretches, find those spots that are tight, feel free to do that. About 10 more seconds on this stretch, and then we'll switch over to the left leg. All right, release. Okay, grabbing your right or left ankle. I'll hold this for another minute. If you rotate your hips up, you'll feel it a lot deeper. At least I do, but everybody's different. Give it a try, see what you prefer. About 30 more seconds. In 5, 3, 2, 1, and release. All right. Our last stretch we'll do for today is the pigeon pose, my personal favorite. So setup is gonna look, I'd say the easiest way is to start in a high plank, bring that leg forward, and then take a look behind you. Make sure that back leg is nice and straight. If it's not, readjust it. And then just like we do for our Romania deadlifts, we're gonna hinge. So I don't wanna see you crunching over like that. You're gonna hinge, bring that body forward, and then drop down to your forearms if you can. If you can't, stay like this. Nothing wrong with that. Everybody's different. Everybody's at a different fitness level. So just work at where you are. Just gonna hold this for about a minute, minute and a half. You can drink water in this position, feel free. You're feeling a nice deep stretch in that right glute and that left hip flexor, so the front of your hip. Breathing should be returned down to normal now. Even if it isn't, or if it is, just keep breathing through the little sequence of in through your nose, out through your mouth. Try to make your exhale a little bit longer if you can than your inhale. Getting ready to switch over to the other side. So coming back into that high plank. And then bring the left leg forward, taking a look behind you, making sure it's nice and straight. And then from here, you're gonna hinge forward. So no hunchbacks. We're hinging so our back is still nice and straight. And we'll hold this for another minute here. So again, this time you should feel it in the front of your hip on the right side and in your left glute. 30 more seconds here. All right, 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Awesome work today, guys. Just want to thank you all for joining me today, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend.